Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We're going to be going over my NFL Divisional Round game picks. Before we get started, please drop a like and a sub. It would really help my channel grow. And with that said, let's dive right into the video, and I hope you enjoy. So here is my big board for this week. Obviously, here are the games. We have the Ravens at the Bills. We've got the Rams at the Packers, the Browns at Kansas City, and the Bucs at the Saints. So let's dive right in with Baltimore at Buffalo. So we have the Ravens and we have the Bills. I think it's going to be one of the best divisional round matchups that we have this week. I mean, we've got two great offenses. I mean, that do it differently. The Bills like to throw the ball. Ravens like to run the ball. And that's good for playoff football. So the real question is, can Buffalo contain Lamar Jackson? Obviously, we saw the Titans have difficulty containing Lamar Jackson, which is, something that ended up allowing for the Ravens to win that game. If you're the Buffalo Bills, you can't let that happen. But I think the Buffalo Bills are going to win this game. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs have the Bills playing arguably the best football coming into the playoffs. Obviously there are other teams in that mix, but I think the Bills are probably the hottest team in the NFL right now. They're going to be playing at home in front of Bills Mafia. It's going to be cold. It's in Buffalo. It's just a Buffalo playoff atmosphere, right? And although that doesn't necessarily translate to Buffalo winning, it definitely gives them some sort of edge. So the real question is, can they stop Lamar Jackson? If they can stop Lamar Jackson, then they have a chance. This defense is not as good as it was last year. This is an offense team. This is an offensive team. It's carried by their offense. But this defense is physical. It's aggressive. It's feisty. It's not necessarily great, but it's very feisty. It's probably just slightly above average, but in the past 4 or 5 weeks, they've been playing very well. They've been looking and playing like a top 10 defense in the NFL. So if they can continue playing like that with guys like Tremaine Edmonds, Matt Milano, Trey White, and they can get pressure on the quarterback but contain pressure, so pressure from the outside, not pressure from the inside, then they're going to have a good chance against Lamar Jackson. And then for the Ravens, it's all about, can you throw the ball? I mean, obviously you can't just be a one-horse machine. You got to be able to throw the ball a little bit. And Hollywood Brown did a good job last week, but can you get open against one of the better corners in the NFL, in Tre'Davious White, who ended up making the Pro Bowl this year? So overall, I think that, it's probably going to be Buffalo in this one, but the Ravens are sneaky. They're a very good defense, and they like to bring up pressure. But, Josh Allen has been good against pressure all year, using his legs to get outside the pocket and throwing on the run to guys like Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley. So I think the Buffalo Bills are going to win this one. I just think Josh Allen and the Bills are playing the best football right now, and I think for those reasons, and also they're playing in Buffalo, I think that they'll be able to win this one. Now, though, let's go back to the big board where we're going to have our next matchup, the Rams at the Packers. So, low-key, I want to take the Rams in this one, and I'll explain why for a second. They've got an elite defense, the best defense in the NFL, with guys like Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Darius Williams. They've just got some great playmakers on that defense, and then that offense is complementary. Goff and Woods and Kupp, and now they've got Whitworth back. So this offense, it's not a joke, and they've got Cam Akers in the run game. But you know what? They've got injury problems, and I'm going to start with the injury problems with them. Jared Goff, coming off thumb surgery, he's got 3 pins in his hand, and I don't know how healthy he'll be next week. He didn't get the start last week against the Seahawks. He ended up having to come in after John Walford got injured, but he ended up carrying them to a win, and he did what he had to do, right? He threw the ball downfield when he had to. He made the right plays when he had to. He didn't look great, though. Okay, he did end up having a touchdown toss. So overall, I think the Rams, going into next week, it's all about the injuries. Also Aaron Donald. They believe he's going to be able to play next week, but no one really knows. And then Cooper Kupp also got banged up, but he should be good to go. But it's really those 3 guys. If they can be healthy and they can get healthier, then maybe there's a chance. But this Packers offense is just so great. It's basically the number 1 offense versus the number 1 defense. I don't know if the Packers are statistically the number 1 offense. I think they might be. So in that case, it is number 1 offense versus number 1 defense. But if Aaron Donald's not playing, I think the Packers are gonna. It's a walk in the park for them. But this offense is great. Aaron Rodgers coming off an MVP year, and then we have obviously Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones. It's a monster. It's a monster. It's that simple. Defensively, they're still really good. Jair Alexander is great. Darius Smith is good at getting pressure to the quarterback. So I think the Packers are also playing at Lambeau Field in a playoff game. I don't really think the Rams are going to really be in it. But, the Rams do have a chance. If they're able to shut down Aaron Rodgers and that passing game like the Bucs were able to do it back, obviously, earlier in the year, then there's a chance. This Rams defense is elite. And if they're able to ride that defense and, slow that Packers offense down, and get touchdowns instead of field goals, which has been a problem of late for this Rams offense, then there's a chance. But I mean, I just like the Packers at Lambeau Field. I said that at the very beginning of the playoffs. If the Packers get the first seed, they're going to be at Lambeau. And although they're going to be rusty for a week, they might have some growing pains early in this game. At the end of the day, Packers at Lambeau. I just don't think anybody's going to beat them in December, January, and then onto the Super Bowl. So with that said, I just think the Packers at Lambeau are just going to be a tall task for this Rams team. So with that said, let's go back to the big board where it's going to be the Browns and the Chiefs, which is probably the easiest game of the week. For the Browns, if you want to win this game, you got to get up early, right? You gotta score some early touchdowns like you did against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then you got to run the ball down the Chiefs' throats. Luckily for the Chiefs, though, I mean, they've got Patrick Mahomes, who is one of the best quarterbacks when it comes to being down, especially early in football games. I mean, obviously what he's done this season and what he did in the playoffs last year against the Texans, as well as obviously in the Super Bowl. So overall, I mean, the Chiefs, they came from behind each game last year in the playoffs. So overall, this Chiefs team is known to be able to come back when they're down. But I don't think that's going to be a problem. I mean, I just think the Chiefs are going to be too much for a good Browns defense that, picked off Big Ben 4 times last week. They still allowed Big Ben to throw 4 touchdowns and 500-plus yards. But overall, I like this Chiefs team. I mean, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes, I don't think the Browns have answers for them on defense. And you know what? I'd say pressure Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes gets better when he's pressured. So overall, I just think the Chiefs are going to be too much to handle. And their defense is not a joke either. Chris Jones, Tyrann Mathieu are just, the elite names on that defense. But overall, I mean, they've got a good defense too that can rush the passer, get to the quarterback, just be feisty and aggressive. And I think although Baker Mayfield is going to go into a very tough situation in Kansas City, I just think that he's going to it's going to be too much. I mean, if you're the Browns, the key to the game is getting an early lead, coming out of the gate quickly, getting Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb the ball and just wearing the Chiefs down and making sure that Patrick Mahomes cannot stay on the field. But I mean, Patrick Mahomes can score from anywhere with guys like McCole Hardman and Tyreek Hill on the field. So overall, I just like the Chiefs in this one. And to be honest, I think they're going to win the Super Bowl if they keep on playing like they did this season. So with that said, I think I'm going to have the Chiefs winning this one. And now let's go to the next game where it's going to be Bucks versus Saints. And this is probably going to be the only game where I'm going to take the underdog, which is going to be the Buccaneers in this one. So obviously the Saints are the 2nd seed, Bucks are the 5th seed. Saints won the division. And the reason why I think the Bucks are going to win this game is that the Saints have already beaten the Bucks twice this year. And it's very hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. I mean, if we look at what the Ravens and the Titans, obviously their past 3 games, the Titans were coming into the wild card round trying to win 3 straight against them, and they just couldn't, right? They couldn't. And the Ravens won because they figured them out. And I think it's going to be the same with the Bucks. But also the Bucks are playing some of the best football going into the playoffs. They did struggle at times a little bit defensively against the Washington football team. But overall, Brady's playing fantastically. He's got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown playing some really good football. And obviously that offensive line is really good. It's really about the defenses in this one. I mean, great defense in New Orleans that is very physical, that likes to stop the run, that's just feisty and aggressive. And these are 2 very good run-stopping defenses. So I don't think Alvin Kamara or Ronald Jones or Leonard Fournette are really going to have much of an impact on this game. I guess Kamara might have as a pass catcher, but overall, I just think the Bucs are going to just be too much. I mean, Brady and that offense, the way they've been playing the past few weeks, is just going to be a lot to handle, and that vertical passing game is something that could cause problems for a very physical defense in the New Orleans Saints. But overall, I mean, I just like the way that Brady's been playing with the Bucs. I like what he's done the past few weeks. I mean, he's been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and he's looked really good and really good. And if the Bucs are able to protect him and just be able to make sure that no one's going to be able to touch him, then I don't think that this Saints team will have a chance. I mean, if we look at the Saints and what their offense was able to accomplish last week against the Chicago Bears, similar defense. I mean, they're very good defense. Obviously, Bucs have a really good defense. But, I mean, the Saints did not look good offensively in that first half. In the second half, they kind of grew into the game and learned how to play this Bears team. But overall, I think that those growing pains in that game just leads me to think that the Bucs are going to be able to win this one next week. So with that said, I mean, I'm going to have the Bucs winning that one, and that means that I have the Bills, the Packers, the Chiefs, and the Bucs moving on to the next round. That would set up a Bills versus Chiefs AFC Championship game and a Packers-Bucs NFC Championship game. And with that said, that's pretty much going to end the video for today. Did you agree with my game picks? Why or why not? Leave your comments in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Also, if you're new around here, please drop a like and a sub. It would really help my channel grow. I'd really appreciate it. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, see ya.